So for journal number 5, I decided to focus on the question, what echoes of Plato do you find in Augustine's thought? How does Augustine's ideas of God relate to Plato's views from the Symposium? I do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And what role should artistic beauty play in Christian/religious life, and is he correct? Also, this is my second time taking this because I accidentally deleted the first one, so I hope this goes better. Anyways, so first of all, some ideas of Plato that I saw in this Confessions reading was the analysis of memory and ideas, and so specifically like life of the soul before birth. So Plato argued that learning is the soul remembering what it already knew, and um, and then Augustine kind of focused on something similar. He focuses this idea of memory uh, as an unconscious knowledge, which so there's that, and then also um, uh, so Augustine's ideas of um, God in relation to the Symposium. Um, Basically, he describes how you cannot find God in the senses or an emotion or in the mind, and that is because God is he like transcends the mind, and he's like above all aspects of the mind. And so then he goes on to talk about how the search for God is an inward search, and that reminded me of um, the idea of beauty being an inwardness in the Symposium, and so this beauty lies deep in the soul, um, and its inwardness is much more valuable and worthy than any beauty on the outside. And so that kind of um, made me think like God within, beauty within, similar. And then you think like you see God all around on the outside, and but the God within you is just as important. I don't know if that makes sense. And then lastly, how does like artistic beauty fit in to religious life? Um, and so like first thing he talks about, Augustine talks about is um, how he's like basically plagued by the uh, worldly pleasures through his senses. Like he talks about like music in church and like uh, visual beauty and all this other stuff. And he says what's dangerous is not the appreciation of this beauty. He thinks, you can appreciate something, but what is dangerous is the potential attachment to worldly things. Um, and so, yeah, so he also talks about how artistic beauty should never be excessive, and how art should always, um, like when it's made, it should always be uh, made under consideration of like its morality. Um, and so he thinks that things should be loved for their ends, for their value, for their overall use. And so, is he correct? I personally don't think so. I think that art, artistic beauty, and all of this is not just something to be appreciated, but to have an attachment to. Like, I think people can be attached to the beauty of things, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But as someone who, like I've mentioned before in my journals, that I'm not super religious, so maybe I just don't understand where he's coming from. Um, yeah, and I think there should be an excessiveness to artistic beauty. I think go all out. I think express yourself however. And um, yeah, and careful consideration of its morality, I guess, makes sense. Like if you're wanting to create a society, and the arts, like Plato said, has a huge influence on people and their thoughts and ideas, and you want that art that has such a powerful influence to be good, to show goodness. But I think art can show either good or bad, right or wrong, whatever. So